What's up, guys? This is Naxxion back with another video, and today I'm talking about the potential future of what Eldlich can do in the modern game of Yu-Gi-Oh! When I brought the deck to the regional, the one thing that I thought was the best thing that Eldlich in general had going for it was actually what you could do with Eldlich himself. The traps and all that are fine. The deck just lacks speed. It is what it is. But one thing that I thought to myself is, and I don't know if anyone else has actually come up with this theory, is what could you actually do with it just Eldlich himself? Well, in theory, I think, and there's potential in this, a splashable little mini Eldlich, which doesn't require any of the Golden Land or any of the Elixir cards. In fact, all you would need is Delta of Invitation, one Eldlich, and honestly, all you really need is just 2 cards in the extra. And I put the Link Spider in because there is times where you can link climb with it. But I really like the idea of this. I've been practicing and looking into what it can actually offer into decks. So thing is, Eldlich himself is a very well designed boss monster. I think this is what will make this part of the deck age incredibly well. He's recovery, he sends, and he's a board breaker. And hence my point. This entire engine does not play in the draw. It only really interacts with one prominent hand trap, and that's, of course, Ash. I mean, Bells in the format, whatever. But basically, with one single invitation, you can dump Eldlich, send it, get both back in the hand, use it to break a board, or use it to put pressure on the board. And of course, invitation adds itself back. You get this off. Let's say you tribute into this, and you link it off. And now you get yourself a big Mad Golden Lord. And the best part is this is all follow-up. If you play even a deck with remotely any spells or traps that could be useless or whatnot, you just get Eldlich right back. You use this, and once again, you can just use it to link climb. And I think there is a slim chance that it's a niche but funny little engine that gives a nice versatility and extra option. You get more interactions in the graveyard, you get link climbing, you get the potential to break boards, and it really doesn't take too much. Sure, yeah, I mean, drawing Eldlich and nothing else sucks. You know, it doesn't have the capability of going against something like even probably Horus properly or Fiendsmith, but for other decks which might just have enough room for it, it's very minimal. It can get you a big boss monster with 3800 attack that just can't be destroyed. Can get you a Change of Heart. Can just give you free link climbing capabilities, or give you the ability to put a strong body on the board randomly if you need to in the grind game, which this really does, because this all recurs itself, minus that, but this right here recurs itself and you get free advantage out of it, and it's the biggest part. This could bait hand traps. This could deal with some boss monsters that you normally would not be able to deal with. I don't know. I like the idea of it. When I did, like I said, when I went to the regional and I played Eldlich, I didn't do very good. I mean, what did I expect? Winning locals versus regionals is always going to be something that's just wildly different. I'm not disappointed. I did my very best. But the one thing that when I got to do, it won me the games that I did win, was being able to actually keep Eldlich on and off, generating free resources. You don't typically actually go into the Fallen Angel as much as I'd like to admit. In fact, I went into it way less. And the thing for it was, in the trap variant, you're just too slow, but in a much quicker environment, this is a random 3500. This is, I obliterate 2, I neg 1, special summon this, I get to re-add this back, so now all that card economy just went back to 0. And I'm thinking to myself, other than something like Shadal, where you could use this and get this free resource, because decks like that don't have any inherent, grind in a real sense of no recovery. This is just niche. I'm sure I'm not the first, again, to come up with the novelty of a very mini Eldlich package, but I do like the idea of it. I feel like it covers a lot of the basics. It can be very hard to interact with, especially if you have Eldlich in hand, and you can deal with Detonator before continuing. And then of course, if you need to beat over it, cool, just send one. This card that you just sent, or the card that you milled with it, will just be right back in hand for follow-up. Honestly, it's not even dead either. You can always just set the card after. Even if it's just a dead card after you've gone Eldlich there, you can still set this, right? And keep going. I don't advise, in theory, playing more than one Eldlich. And I don't even know. Because, you're going to get Bestialed and the whole thing shuts off. But in theory, there's, I think, some promise that can be done with it. I'm definitely going to look into the matter. And of course, in order to do the link climbing, you just need one extra spell or trap in hand. So not every deck can really play it, but every deck that does play a prominent amount of spells or traps will come into the issue of, well, I have one extra that just doesn't do anything. So obviously, you would Delta send Eldlich, Eldlich send this, whatever it is. It doesn't even have to be a golden land. Special, use effect to create the token, link that off, and then, you contribute. So, you're link climbing. You get two free bodies without normal summoning, and you get the ability to float into another body after you've link climbed. That is pretty good. And it's very minimal. This feels a lot like Invoked, in the sense, at least, where you play very minimal compared to a lot of other packages. But yeah, that's all. It just kind of occurred to me randomly with testing and how Invitation is just still a genuinely broken card for a very mediocre deck. But I would like to see Eldlich continue to see any sort of success, whether it's in trap variants or in combo variants, which the deck desperately needs that identity to be able to recapture. And, I do enjoy the concept of the deck. I'm trying to look for ways where Eldlich can remain prominent. In some sense, this actually reminds me of when Yubel first came out in the OCG, mainly Phantom of Yubel. A lot of people were playing Nightmare Throne so they could pop Spirit to get Yubel, and then they get the Omni for free. A lot of builds were doing something like that. I don't know. You know what? It's different, and honestly, that's all I really have to say about it. But yes, thank you for watching.